An extra £4 billion per year is to be spent on Britain's defences, with money for space and cyber defence, such as an artificial intelligence agency. David Horn is director of North East cybersecurity firm Cyberwhite, which usually supports local businesses, including protecting themselves against potential cyber attacks.
Cyber warfare refers to the use of technology to attack a nation's computers or its information network. So ideally, that the purpose of cyber warfare would be to cause comparable harm versus actual warfare. So more rather than damage and death and destruction, it's more to the infrastructure. The threat of cyber attacks has been increasing exponentially year on year. And of course, traditionally, we had the three domains of war, which were land, sea, and air. And of course, cyber is the new fourth domain. And we're seeing more and more nations getting behind that and using it because they can cause significant harm and civil unrest through fake news, social media, cyber vandalism, all of these things. In fact, we saw a lot of this potentially through the American elections.
David, what kind of cyber attacks might we come under?
And it depends. A lot of the attacks have different motivators. Topically, of late, we've seen a lot of activity around COVID-19. And there's been a race across the world, really, to develop the vaccine. And, we have seen massive increase in attacks against this country and the NHS in particular and some of the research establishments from nation states trying to compromise to get that information because the intellectual property in that is significant.
And how then can the military fight against cyber warfare?
Crucially, what we're seeing now is the government have announced that, or a confirmation of the National Cyber Force, which is obviously a collaboration between the military and GCHQ in Cheltenham. But where I think we're seeing a difference now is that when we're talking about that National Cyber Force, we're now saying they've now got the ability to launch offensive actions rather than simply defending against them, which is historically what we've done. Bringing on board the new Artificial Intelligence Agency, then hopefully we'll be able to start to move to a much more proactive state of defense and allow automation and the machine learning to take over and remove some of those decision-making processes which kind of overtake people with information overload.
It's David Horn there, director of North East cyber firm security Cyberwhite.